Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of the Showbound podcast presented by Axel Watches. I'm your host, Michael Raskin, once again joined by Ethan Cardwell. Cardsy, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just hanging out. Had a nice steak dinner, so I'm in a good mood right now, and just looking forward to getting some sleep here soon. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. I actually wanted to say, obviously, as you guys listen to this, the Super Bowl happened a few days ago now, but man, I decided to throw some money down, which is rare for me. I don't usually gamble, but I made a lot of money, like a lot of
Yeah,
money.
that's good to
So
hear. I was going for the Bucks all the way. I just I don't like any team in particular. Like I like Cowboys are my team, but just to see Brady and what he's doing in the game. I know we talk about it a bit with Lappy, but it's actually insane. And then just to see what unfolded, just pure domination on both sides of the ball for the Bucks. But yeah, it was a good game. So I'm glad that you made a little bit of money off it.
yeah, I mean, I'm the same way too. Like, I really just you can't bet against Brady. That's so I bet on the Bucks. The odds were against them, so I made that. And I bet on the under, which was 55, and obviously it was like 40 total. And then I bet that the Bucks would win by more than three. So like I hit all three of my bets. All of them were against the odds. So I just like it was good. But then me and my buddy ended up losing a lot of that money playing online blackjack last night. So that was a tough one, man. It gets addicting fast. Like they give you a couple ones where you win and you're like, oh, I can make my money back. And then you just like end up losing more and more. It's like it's a tough one. But anyway, yeah, what's up in Sweden? I know actually I just posted on TikTok, but you scored a goal and did the Corvette dance before skating by the bench, man. Like how's it going with the games? How are you doing in the house? What's going on?
Not much, kind of same as normal. We have 3 games this week actually, so it's a busy week for us. Just trying to stay loose. I know body gets a little bit tight, kind of getting into games for the first time in a while. The body's not used to taking hits, and I don't know, just game shape and stuff. So a little bit sore. So just kind of battle through that. But our team's doing well right now. Yeah, everyone's contributing. Gonna give my buddy Yakin a shout out because he was talking about the pod today, and he's on fire. So shout out to Yakin. We might have to get him on the pod before I head back to Ontario. But no, and then yeah, that dance. We were in the locker room before the game, and I was like joking with a few of the guys. I was telling them to do it because like I'm a superstitious guy, or like not even superstitious. I just don't like to jinx things. So I never mention like if I'm gonna do a celebration when I score or anything like that, just because like I don't want to put it in jeopardy or something because it messes with my head. So I'm telling other guys to do it, but like deep down, I'm like, if I score, like I'll fire it up for the boys. And sure enough, I got one in there. So then I had to fire the boys up before going by the bench.
Man, I was losing it when you sent me the video. It was so funny. I was a little pissed. I couldn't match it up to the music when I was posting it on TikTok, but it is what it is. Like, I don't know. Have you seen it yet, the video?
No, I haven't. I'll go check it out after this
Oh,
though.
yeah, it could have been better, but it's fine. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, we got a big episode today with a former first overall pick in the QMJHL, Hendrix Lapierre. We interviewed him this morning. He's also a first round pick of the Washington Capitals from this past NHL draft, and he's currently playing in the queue for Chicago. So yeah, it was an awesome chat. The guy speaks really well. He's a buddy of yours, Cards, and I was really happy with that interview.
Yeah, bro. I was when we were talking about our guests for this week, I was just kind of like trying to think back of some prospects or some guys that I'm close with, and I thought of Lappy because as we talk about it later on in the interview here, we kind of just hit it off at U17s, became really good buddies, and then sort of kept in touch. But I hadn't talked to him in a while. Reached out, and he was quick to it, and to do it on his birthday nonetheless. So he's a really good guy, and I think the listeners will really like to hear the way he speaks. And for a French guy, he sounds really good too, actually.
Yeah, no, he does speak really well considering English is his second language. I didn't even realize that because he's so good at speaking, but we'll send that over to you guys in a couple minutes. First, I just want to mention that later on in this episode, we're going to be doing an Axel Watch giveaway just for the listeners. We're not going to be posting it on social media, so stay tuned and you can find out how to win. And that's something I'm excited to, reward our listeners, not just the people who follow. So that'll be cool. Hopefully you guys stick around for that. And yeah, we can send it over to the interview. But before we do, I just want to mention that support for the Showbound podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming. Big news. Manscaped just released their new cologne scent to help you feel good and smell good all over and at all times. Who knew smelling this good could feel this good too? Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. And yeah, Manscaped sent us the cologne and some other things too. I've been using it. It smells really good and gets me fired up too. Gives me the confidence to walk out knowing that, I don't smell like crap. So I love that. And everyone knows Manscaped has the perfect package 3.0 for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. But they didn't stop there. Complete your grooming game with the new refined cologne signature scent by Manscaped. With the same signature scent that's in all Manscaped formulas, this cologne is a perfect complement to the collection. Light, approachable, and gentlemanly in all the right ways. Think of it as your wingman for the night to keep you fresh and ready for anything. Calming and inviting, this signature scent introduces a light citrus burst before settling into the anchoring notes of vetiver and a woodsy masculine finish. This 50 milliliter spray cologne is even hyperallergenic, cruelty-free, dye-free, paraben-free, and 100% vegan. This beautifully designed glass bottle makes a statement, and the manly scent is attractive to set the mood. Also, be sure to check out the Perfect Package 3.0 with all the essentials for your below-the-waist grooming needs, including the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer and crop formulations. Yes, I'm talking about ball deodorant and toner to keep your testes besties. And now you can use the new Manscaped Refined Cologne to complete your set and smell great anytime, anywhere. It's time to feel sexy. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWBOUND at manscaped.com. Your balls and body will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SHOWBOUND at manscaped.com. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped. Hey, I just nailed that first take, by the way, and that's 2 episodes in a row first take after the one before was like 7 takes. So I'm kind of getting pretty good here.
Yeah, well, I do you a favor now. I just put my head down and go on my phone just so I'm not laughing when you're reading some of those outrageous lines.
Yeah, sometimes it's the look on your face. Remember at the beginning when we first started this, I remember like doing the first read for like our first ad, and I'm looking at you laughing. Like I can't even like we used to just sit here and laugh for like 4 or 5 takes before we can get it going. We're a lot better now.
Bro, it wasn't even an ad read. You'd be like, all right, welcome back to episode 2 of the Showbound. And I'd just be like, and we'd start dying laughing, man. But yeah, we've gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I've kept a lot of the bloopers too, so maybe at some point we can give the listeners a blooper reel or something. But yeah, no, we've definitely come a long way. Anyway, yeah, we'll send it over to Hendrix Lapierre now, and hope you guys enjoy this one.
Welcome to the pod, Lappy. Super happy to have you. How you doing?
Pretty good, you?
Yeah, just hanging in there. I'm over in Sweden right now playing with a few of the guys, just trying to get some games in. But I know in your league, you guys are playing in the queue, kind of on and off. And you want to just tell the people kind of what's going on right now for you guys?
Yeah, well, we're pretty lucky because we can play. We're in bubbles right now, so we'll play against like 4 or 5 teams in like 6 or 7 days, and then we'll go back to our billets for like a week and just practice, and then go back to bubbles again. Unfortunately, our last bubble we played against a team that had COVID, so now we have to quarantine for 14 days. But it's not that bad. We're doing like Zoom workouts and stuff, and we're trying to stay strong and hang in there. We've already done quarantine back in November, so it's our second one as a team. Mine is my 5th one, I think. So it's getting pretty long, but it's fun just to be able to play the game. So we can't really complain.
Yeah, for sure. And I know it's good that Quebec's kind of giving you guys the nod and the that part of the country anyway to at least try to play some games and salvage. And I think it's cool how you guys got the bubbles going. And I think we'll hopefully hear something from the O on that, and maybe we can follow suit so we can meet you in the Mem Cup here this year.
Yeah, play without contact, eh?
Yeah, no way, man. If we do that, that'll be insane. But
it's pretty ridiculous, eh?
Through this year, you got to start the season. I know it's been scattered, but 7 games, you have 12 points in. So how are you managing the season so far? I know it's been scattered and whatnot, but for you personally, how's it going?
It's going okay. I think I've had some good games. I've had some tougher ones. I think the main thing right now for me is just to start playing games on a regular basis. I'm kind of playing games, then stopping for like a month, and then playing 2 games, then stopping again. So I think for me, I only played 18 games last year, my draft year. So I think for me, it's just to play games right now, get back in that rhythm of playing. And, of course, with the bubbles right now, we're able to do so when there's no cases. So yeah, for me, I think the main thing is just continue playing games. But it's been an okay start to the season in terms of in terms of the team, it's been really good. I think we haven't lost many games, but personally, I just want to, stay more consistent, I guess.
Yeah, I actually have a follow-up question to that. So obviously, like when people don't play games, if you're out for injuries or whatever it is, when you come back, there's always that adjustment of game speed, decision making and quickness that you kind of lose when you're not playing games. Are you noticing that kind of for all the players? Is it a little bit like spotty sometimes, questionable decisions being made after a month of no games or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's kind of tough to see, but you'll realize it. There's a couple plays that are made, like easy passes, like in the center or whatever. You're trying to find your guys in the slot, and the puck is just gonna, do a little bounce or something, and you can kind of feel it. I feel like when you watch those guys, you can't say like, oh, they haven't been playing for a while, but you can see that it's a little off, and you guys know it probably too. Like after summer, when you come to training camp, yeah, you've been training, the whole summer, but there's nothing like playing real games with contact and stuff. So I feel like it's at least everyone's in the same position, right? Like every team's playing the same number of games, so there's no teams that have a big advantage. But I feel like you can see it that it's a little off, but we'll get back in that rhythm. And I think it's just about like the game shape. If you're tired after 20-25 seconds of your shift, of course you're going to make more mistakes. So I feel like both things, they're pretty much rely together.
Yeah, I can definitely understand where you're coming from there. I mean, being away from the game, and you said like your fifth quarantine now. And for the people who don't know, Lappy was at the World Junior Camp this year. And so can you kind of just tell us quickly about that? I know you guys had some difficulties with quarantine. Unfortunately, didn't make it this year, but set yourself up obviously to be a key piece in the run for gold next year, which I imagine you'll do great in, as you have in Team Canada uniform in your whole career so far. So what was that little experience like in the bubble for you?
Yeah, it was good. Of course, I think it's fun to play and to see all those guys. They're really good players, of course. But just to measure myself against those guys was pretty fun, and to have the camp. I didn't really play as good as I wanted. I had a tough camp, so I was kind of expecting to maybe not make the team this year. But I think I know what my mistakes were. I know what I have to do best to get back next year, and I've learned from this camp a lot. So it was good experience. Lots of great guys. It was fun to see the old guys, the dub guys again. For us in the queue, we don't see you guys much. Same thing for you guys with us. So it was a great experience, of course, and I can't wait to get back at it next year.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting, and obviously you're a guy that everyone kind of knows is expecting to make that team next year and hopefully be a key piece. But I kind of want to take it back to the QMJHL draft, and we'll kind of work your way up your career to now. But you went first overall to Chicoutimi, and the QMJHL draft is a lot cooler than the O draft for most of our Ontario listeners. It's kind of like that NHL feel in the arena. Like, what was
Absolutely.
that feeling like for you in the moment? Like, can you just take us through that?
Yeah, well, of course it was amazing. As you mentioned, like I think for you guys it's online, right? So for us there's like the big stage, and a lot of people, and everyone's just watching, and so it's really fun. It was a great day. I didn't know I was going to Chicoutimi at first. I was ranked to go there, but I really had no idea. So for me, when I arrived there, I was still a little stressed out about the whole situation. And you arrive there, you see the stands and the big scenes and TV and stuff. So it was a pretty nice day. Seeing all my buddies drafted too, because of course when you're in the O2 class, a lot of guys from this class. So lots of buddies of mine got drafted, it was just a special day. I think for me and my family. I mean, you guys have lived it too. It's just pretty fun to now say you can play for a junior team and try to work hard and help this team win.
So I got this one was a fan question, and I moved it up into here. We'll do some fan questions at the end because I actually didn't know, but I realized that you played AA just 2 years before the draft. So like, at what point did you realize, I'm really good at hockey, I might be able to make a career here? Like, how did that go for you to switch to AAA and that situation, playing AA? Like, how was that?
Yeah, it's actually weird because when I was a kid, like when I was like in like novice and Adam, I was really like I'd say like I had a little step. I was kind of really good, I guess.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I just trying to not be. And then when I arrived like in Pee Wee and Bantam, I had really like tougher years. I think, hockey was starting to be more serious, and I don't know, maybe I wasn't prepared, but in Pee Wee, I had really 2 tough years. And Bantam, my first year, I actually played Double A, as you mentioned. I got cut from Triple A. So, and then after that, I think during my Bantam Triple A year, I just, which was my second Bantam year, I guess I started really working and, putting my efforts really into hockey and training hard in the summer, which I really haven't done before. And I feel like it was really different. I don't know why during the Bantam Triple A year it just went like this, and then when I arrived in midget Triple A, I was had a lot of confidence, had a great summer, and it went well, and started working really hard again, and I think I just I think what really helped me is maybe my passion. I really have a big passion for the game, so maybe in bantam or midget, guys are not willing to do little things to get better, because it's just it's serious, but it's kind of for fun at the same time. You know what I mean? So there's a couple of guys in there that know that they I guess they won't make it. So I feel like for me it was that. But yeah, during midget AAA was really the year where I said, okay, well, you know what, like maybe I can get drafted in the Q, and maybe in the Q I can try to do some things and work my way up. And yeah, it's a tough question to answer. I feel like but I feel like that bantam double A year was kind of beneficial for me, because made me realize that if you want to have something, you got to get it, and it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, and I can remember going back to what Lappy just said about him being like really good when he was young. I remember playing him at the brick tournament, and for those who don't know, it's like when you're like what, 9 or 10.
Yeah, it was in 012, so it was in 12, so yeah, we were 10.
Yeah, 10 years old, and this guy was dirty. I remember playing Montreal, and he was flying around, and then you could just tell he was going to be a player. And then when we met back up at the U17s, I was like, well, yeah, he hasn't lost a step since then.
U17s was pretty fun, eh, Cardsy?
Yeah, we had a great time there. That's where, for
I
the
loved it.
listeners, I met Lappy, and yeah, we kind of hit it off there. We were really good buddies there, and just had a really good time. So that was sweet. And then after the draft there, we'll just get into your first year a little bit. Just under a point per game, 45 points in 48 games. You won the Michael Bergeron Trophy as the league's offensive rookie of the year. So what was the adjustment like from midget to the Q? Obviously you did very well, and can you kind of just tell us about that year a bit?
Yeah, first year in the Q, obviously, it's probably the same thing for you guys. When you arrive in the new league, you're always like, oh, like, what is it going to be like?
Mm-hmm.
For me, personally, I had the chance to have like really good vets and stuff. So like my captain and really showed me the way, and the other vets too. So I got pretty lucky on that part of the thing, I guess. But it was a good year. You have to make new adjustments. Of course, the guys are, it's a cliche, but the guys are really bigger. The guys are really stronger, faster. So you have less time with the puck. But for me, I guess it went pretty well. As I mentioned, the vets did a really good job to make me feel good. And I had lots of opportunities to start. I had power play time. I had a lot of 5-on-5 time. So I think it was good for the confidence. And, I kept working, and I kept, trying to get better every day. And I think it paid off in that first year. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, the production speaks for itself too, and it was nice to get awarded, and the recognition from the league. So, Yannick Jean, is that how you pronounce the name of your coach? I'm not great with the French names.
Yeah, well, in French it's Yannick Jean, so
Okay.
I guess you could say like Yannick Jean, but
Okay.
it's a nice try. It's pretty good. It's tough to say. Eh?
Yeah, well, another French name, Phil Mayette, told me that you guys had the same junior coach, and he's on Washington now. He said that he's really intense, like really hard. What's he like?
Yeah, he's pretty intense, of course. I think he was like a little extra, like when he was before in his career. I think he's kind of relaxed more. But I've heard some stories of him, when he came into the league and stuff, and he's still pretty intense. I think he just wants us to get better. He really loves the game. He wants to win. And I kind of like that, because I hate losing as well. And I feel like, when you're a coach, the best gift you can give your players is to make them earn their ice time. And, if you work, you're going to have ice time. And if you don't, then just, you're not going to play. So I feel like he's a really good coach, really intense, loves the game. He wants us to work. And of course he's a good person too. So that's pretty fun. Every time we have something, we can go but yeah, he's pretty intense.
I think a lot of coaches who have been in the game for a long time have kind of had to tone it down a bit too, though. Like you go
Yeah,
back in the day, and these guys
the
are
old school.
real hard asses, and then kind of now you got to soften up a little bit. So I guess that's what happened with your coach there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too. You heard you hear the term like old school a lot, and he's been in the league for a lot of time, but I think he knows that I guess it's changing, and he's been really good for me in my 3 years there, and still good this year.
Cards, how intense was Warren Reichel for listeners when he came into Barrie? He came in screaming, dude. I guess you never had Reichs, did you?
Yeah, I did. I had
okay.
Reichs for a 6-game period, and I love Reichs, man.
He's a great dude. Just
that was new coach in Barrie.
Yeah, Warren Reichel, and this guy, he played in the show for a while, and he brought the old school mentality to Barrie for sure, and I loved it, dude. And he was a beauty too, and that's probably he's a crazy dude, but at the same time, I love him to death.
Yeah, no, Reichs was a great guy, but I just remember, I guess because you weren't there at the beginning, but when he came in, because it was Millsy was coaching the preseason, and Millsy's intense too, but when Reichs came in, it was just like, smashing sticks on the ice, screaming. Like, it was like you felt it
really, eh?
when he came in.
Wow. Okay, now our coach my coach is maybe not at that point yet, but I can see the kind of coach that is.
Yeah, no doubt.
I want to drop it for the listeners since I brought it up. But Phil Mayette, he's a guy on the Washington Capitals, just played his first game, and he's going to be our guest next week. So, Lappy, you got anything on him? Do you know him at all? I know he said you guys were texting a bit.
Yeah, well, we saw each other in Washington a little bit. Played on the same line for a bit at the camp in Washington. It was fun to see another guy from Quebec there and speak French. I was actually, when he came into the lobby at the hotel and we saw each other for the first time, he was like with a couple of the guys, and I said like, "Oh, hi, I'm Lappy," and then he just starts speaking in French. I'm like, wow, I'm like, hi. And then we was talking French, and he's like, yeah, I'm from Quebec. My name's Phil. I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't know there was a guy from Quebec here. So, so I was kind of surprised, but he's a really nice guy. He's honestly, his camp was really good. I think he's a really fast skater, uses it well. He's a good player. And, but yeah, I texted him, I think yesterday, just to tell him congrats, for his first game, but that's pretty much it. I guess we'll see each other at the camp next year, but really good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to have him on. But anyway, I want to keep it going here with your second year in the Q. And I know you mentioned it earlier. You'd only played a few games. There were some injury problems. Cardsy was letting me know you had a few major concussions. Like, I just want to know how do you deal with that? First of all, the injuries, but then also it being in your draft year, really cutting your game short. Like, how does that affect you mentally? Not knowing if this could affect your draft or you might slip. What is that like?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for me because of course, as you mentioned, it was my draft year, and so I started the year and it didn't go really well, and I wasn't playing really well. I don't know why. My games weren't going very well, and then after that, in October I got hit, and then I was out for like only a week, and we thought it was a concussion at first, and then I went back, played November, got hit again, and then we thought it was a concussion again because I had headaches, and it was kind of a weird situation. But then after a while, I was training every day. I was on the ice every day. I was feeling well, but I had like little headaches like in the morning and stuff. It was kind of weird. So we went to go check my neck, and it was actually a neck injury. I think it's vertebrae, or I don't know how you say it, like vertebrae. Yeah. So they were all twisted and stuck, which gave me headaches. So that was really good news for me to learn, because when you're 18 and you think you've had like 3 concussions, it's pretty scary. But to see that was my neck was, I guess it was kind of good for me. It gave me like confidence to say, okay, well, you know what, like I can go back and not really risk my head or stuff. So that was really good. But yeah, it was a tough year. Draft year, you want to play, you want to help your teammates. We had a really good team in Chicoutimi, so of course I wanted to be a part of that. But being away from what you love the most in the world is tough. But I feel like now it's in the past. I can put that in my my experience bag, I guess. And if someone gets hurt or whatever, I can try and help them in my team or just support them, because I know how it feels. But I can go on for days with this injury, but it was a tough year. It was a tough year. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, do you find yourself just checking the draft rankings, like, oh my God, I'm slipping, I'm not getting games. Like, and when it came to meetings with teams, how did those go? Like, they were probably always asking, like, they might have felt that taking you in the first round would be a risk with injuries at a young age. Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, especially when we thought it was concussions. The teams were talking about it. They were like, "Wow, like 2 or 3 concussions in less than a year. Like, do you really think we can risk it on you and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, I think I'll keep working." And finally, when we realized it was a neck injury, that pretty much changed everything. I was talking to the teams, and they were making sure my neck was good. And it's not that it's not a big injury, but it's having a neck injury is I guess is better than having 2 concussions. You know what I mean? So the teams were really optimistic about it after. I think they were really checking, making sure they were that my neck was okay. And my agent and everyone in the team made a really good job to like tell the teams the real stuff. And but I wasn't really looking at the draft rankings because I couldn't play right, so I couldn't do anything to help it. So even if I was ranked like, I don't know, end of the first round or whatever, I was like, well, I can't do anything about it, so I'm not going to watch it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I feel like I'm really happy that I got drafted to Washington because with all the uncertainty of the year, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and like you just mentioned, really happy to go to Washington. I don't think draft day could have gone much better for you. I know that was your favorite team growing up, so that couldn't have been too bad at all. But kind of that day, the day of the draft for you, I remember seeing some posts that you guys were at the arena with you and Mercer, correct there, and then
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys got to go to the arena like some others did during the draft and kind of enjoy it with your families and their other family there. So what was that day like for you, just being there with your family?
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, my family got tested. My girlfriend too. They got tested. They came from Gatineau to Chicoutimi, which is my hometown, to my club team. It's like a 7-hour ride. So I was really happy that they were going to be there. Of course, draft day, you want to spend it with your family, I guess, because they're the ones that help you the most get there. But just being with as you mentioned, with Mercer, and with my other teammates, the coaching staff, my family, I think everyone, even if it wasn't the draft at the Bell Center like we should have had, it was an amazing night. And seeing Mercer get drafted and seeing one of my other teammates get drafted the day after was pretty special. And just being with my family, as I mentioned, was good. But I was really happy to go to Washington, and kind of surprised but really happy.
Yeah, so that kind of leads me into the next thing. You were a bit surprised with Washington. Who did you kind of feel like was going to take you if you had a gut feeling on any team going into it?
It's a tough question. I think like Washington. I wasn't expecting it because I didn't really talk to them much compared to other teams. But it's tough to say. Like, I think when New York drafted to get 19, I was maybe like, okay, well, maybe that can be me. I had a lot of interviews with New York, and I think they went well. So, but aside from that, I think I was just waiting. When Washington traded for 22, I honestly wasn't really thinking it was going to be me, and then they drafted me, which was pretty special. But if I had one feeling with another team, I think it was 19 with New York. But of course, didn't happen now, and really happy to be a Caps.
Cards, this one's kind of for you. Just how many guys have we had on this podcast where we're like, where did you think you were going to go? They'll say they had a bunch of conversations with one team, and then the team that they barely talked to ends up picking them like in the first round. It's like, I don't know how much emphasis they place on the meetings and stuff. It's just weird hearing that all the like consistently that the team
that's true.
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
weird.
I hear it a lot too. Like, it's kind of weird, but I feel like, yeah, meetings are just like, I guess, know the guy, and some teams, I guess, they don't really feel the need to. Because Cardsy, your draft year is next year, right?
Well, I was draft eligible this year. I slipped out, but yeah, I'm draft eligible again. So
okay.
But
Is it going well in Sweden?
Yeah, I'm playing pretty well over here.
He's lighting it up. He's lighting it up.
Actually,
I'm doing all right.
I saw you scored. I saw you. You had an hat-trick the other day, right?
Yeah. I got that was my first goal, and then the Hattie. But yeah, no, it's going pretty well. So hopefully, set myself up. Maybe I'll see you in Washington. Who knows? But
no, that would be sick, eh?
Yeah, 100% reunite the boys. But No, like I feel like, yeah, it's like a lot of uncertainty really. It's like best guy available, they're going to take the pick. And I mean, when Lappy's available at 22, like obviously Washington's going to jump on him, especially kind of guy who didn't play much. And that's a steal, I feel like, at 22 easily.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Cardsy.
Yeah. It's just, I guess maybe teams are looking for any red flags more so than like having long conversations. Like if they have one conversation, that might be enough to know if this guy's just a horrible person or not. And then they know to
Yeah,
stay away.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, but I feel like if the draft, that's what I thought. Like if the draft was in June, I feel like I would have went like later. But like after June, I had the chance to start the year in Chicoutimi in September and August, and I did really well there. So I feel like the kind of uncertainties were like, okay, well, maybe he's really okay to play now when he's good, and it was really his neck. So I feel like if the draft was in June, I probably wouldn't have gone to 22, but pretty happy that it was in October then.
Mm-hmm.
that's a very fair point and a good advantage for a QMJHL player there. But
Absolutely.
we'll get to kind of a maybe a disadvantage of the QMJHL right now in a second. But you went to the Washington Capitals camp this year, and we touched on it a bit earlier. But this was an experience kind of like not many rookies are going to get, where you're basically around the entire actual playing roster, because obviously smaller camps with COVID. But what was that like? Your first camp basically being with the actual NHL team. How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great experience. When I arrived to Washington, there's like an hotel that the guys go to all the time. That's right besides the rink. So, I arrived at the hotel. There was like lots of nice stuff around the rink. Actually, the rink is like on the 8th floor of a mall. So you're at the hotel and you just walk to the mall. You take the elevator, you go to the rink, and then you just see like the Caps logo and the rink. So that was pretty special for me. Just seeing that first, having that first look. It's always like that when you see something new, whether it's in your junior team or whatever. So for me, it was pretty fun, and just to see those guys. Of course, I mean, Ovechkin was one of my favorite players growing up. Backstrom, Kuznetsov, Oshie, all those guys, all those players are really amazing, and lots of good person in that group, I feel like. So yeah, it was good seeing the installations, the staff, everything. Definitely a great experience. It was short, but it was great.
Yeah, you step into a locker room of legends. Like you're literally on a team of some of the best players in the world. But did any of those guys, anyone on the team kind of take you under your wing or under their wing while you were there?
It's tough to say. I think for Zach Fucale and Daniel Sprong, I spent a lot of time with them. At the hotel. Because obviously they're two guys from Quebec. So, Fucale just texted me. He's like, you can come to my room tonight. I'm going to make you a steak, whatever. So that was pretty nice. And he showed me a couple tips on how to cook stuff, because I was pretty bad. And so he showed me a lot of stuff. But for the NHL guys, I think a guy like Tom Wilson or maybe Brendan Dillon, they were just really nice to me. Maybe not took me under their wing, but they were really nice to me. They were giving me a lot of tips, talking about hockey and stuff. So I feel like those two guys were really nice. Of course, there was other nice guys, but I feel like Wilson and Dylan were, they were really cool.
I think Tom Wilson's a guy you might want to have on your side. I mean, if you got that guy protecting you out there, you got no worries when you step into the show. That guy will eat people alive for you.
Yeah, no, he's big, and I think during his first year, Wilson was really recognized as a guy who hits. He was recognized as a tough guy, but I feel like now he has like that scoring touch, that passing touch that makes him so like versatile and dangerous. He can hit, he can shoot, he can pass, he can do pretty much everything. So I was actually really surprised to see that, because of course, like when you go back a couple of years, like Tom Wilson, he's just a guy that, he was really good. Like he had a lot of talent and stuff, but he wasn't scoring 25 and I feel like this year he's had a tremendous start, and he's just so big and so strong and so good that I feel like it's going to be I feel like it should be a really good problem for teams. Not a good problem, but a big problem.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. I mean, he's a guy who can do it all, and there's very few players in the NHL like him now. And I just want to go one more question, kind of like the disadvantage, like I said, with the Q is, leaving that Washington camp, you're going back to the QMJHL. Whereas, if you were an OHL player, you'd probably be in the AHL right now playing there. So what are your thoughts on that situation? Like, I mean, obviously you said you're happy with where you're at in Chicoutimi, but it's a huge kind of advantage to get to play in the AHL at this age.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big advantage, of course. One thing I was pretty happy about going to juniors is because I feel like, during my 2 first years, I didn't play much, especially last year. So I feel like I really have some things to prove in junior. I really want to be able to tell myself like, okay, I've done what I had to do in juniors. Now I can go to the pro level. You know what I mean? So when they sent me back to juniors, I was pretty happy because I knew I had a lot of things to prove, and I knew I still need to improve my game. But if they sent me in the AHL, I would have been pretty happy too. Of course, it's a great challenge, but for me, I think just confidence wise, and as I mentioned, I didn't play much games, in the past years. So just going in juniors and having a lot of ice time and stuff, I think it can be pretty good for me. And so yeah, there's a couple disadvantages too, but I'm happy to be in Chicoutimi right now.
Yeah, it's good to be back happy and healthy there, and hopefully you guys get out of this quarantine and you start buzzing. I know you'll definitely be putting up points, and yeah, like you said, lot to prove. Haven't played too many games, so that'll be nice for you. Hopefully go on a deep playoff run too, which I have no doubt you guys will. We're just gonna send it back to the summer kind of, and like I know we both had a long off season this year with COVID cancellations during our season and stuff. But what kind of off-season training do you do? And like, is there anything specific that you kind of do?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to know, Mikey, do you still play right now? Yeah. Eh?
No, I mean, I talked to Cardsy about this. I did sign with like a minor pro team, but it's just with COVID and stuff, it's not worth it. So I'm done, not playing.
Okay, you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, like if you were still playing the game or whatever. But all right,
I'm not even good, man.
that's all right, man. Your podcast is good, so
he's the brains of the operation, and yeah, we'll give him the pretty face because he always wants that recognition.
There we go.
So I guess we'll give him.
I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him. I gave you the brains of the operation status. But all right, that's good to know. But yeah, for the summer, I think for me, I train in Montreal, so which is 2 hours away from my hometown. I live at my agent's house actually in the summer. I've been living there for the past 4 years in summer. So we have a facility called Hockey Chara with my agency, and there's a nice gym, a couple 3-on-3 rinks and 4-on-4 rinks. So I've been training there for the past 4 summers. It's actually, I think it's where my hockey game really started to grow. It's past 4 years ago back to Bantam AAA, which is kind of where I started to, I guess, grow back. So I feel like it's kind of related together. But lots of power skating, lots of strength stuff, cardio stuff. Of course, in the summer you're trying to get not really bigger, but I'd say just stronger. For me with the type of player I am, I don't feel like I need to be 200 pounds. So in the summer it's more about maintaining my my muscle and trying to get stronger and faster. So I've been there for the past 4 years. It's amazing, and I really like it. Really like it there.
Yeah, and I remember you talking about that at U17s because I know we talked about you just living at your agents and stuff, and that's a huge sacrifice that people got to understand, moving away from summer from your hometown to kind of just put everything into hockey, and it's obviously paying big.
I think that was my first. Actually, I think maybe that was my second summer there. I can't remember, but it went pretty well at the U17s when we were together, and so I feel like it was really about that training and just just the way I guess I was preparing in the summer. But my agent's been really good for me, and I remember we've talked about it too. Like it's not something you see I guess often, but I guess it's a sacrifice you got to make, and I don't really see it as a sacrifice. It's so fun being there, and the people are great to me. So I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. And whatever works for people best, you got to work with it. And but next, we always ask everyone who kind of comes on here, because we have a lot of signed show players who come on and signed prospects like yourself. So was there any big purchase made when you signed your contract?
No, there was not. Like right now, I honestly I didn't touch $1 of what I received. Like I only received my first check, which is like half of what I'm supposed to receive. But I didn't. Maybe I'll buy like a golf bag or something. Like I started playing golf last summer. I know you're freaking good at it. So, but yeah, I started playing last summer. I love it. Like just being with friends on the course and just, I guess chilling and it's pretty relaxing sport when you don't miss the ball like 3 times in a row, which get frustrating
Yeah,
after.
it
But
could be relaxing, but it could piss you
yeah,
off. So
that's I always feel like, oh yeah, it's fun, it's relaxing, but at the same time, like when I hit like 2 bad shots, I'm like, and I'm really bad at golf, so I hit a lot of bad shots, so I'm frustrated at the 18 a lot of the time. So, but yeah, a golf bag would probably be one, and then maybe a car. Not I don't think I need one soon. Like right now I have the team gives me not gives me a car, like they actually like pass me a car. So I have that right now, but yeah, maybe just a golf bag would be my first my first one this summer.
A golf bag, and then we'll get a car and a trunk for you to put that golf bag in. You'll be rolling,
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
great.
maybe, yeah.
then
But I
we
just
get
don't know. Like I don't know cars. Like I don't know like cars and stuff. Like I've never been like big into it, so I don't know. Like I don't know if the prices are good and stuff. So I'm just waiting, and I don't have any press to buy a car. So
yeah. It's good to be responsible. So it's good you're not blowing it already at a young
yeah,
age.
trying to
I got
responsible.
one more question, then we'll go into the fan questions. But obviously we've talked about a few times you guys met at the U17s. What was it like when you first met Cardsy? Did you think he was like somebody's kid or something?
No, not that bad. I mean, it was pretty funny, of course. Like I think that's why we clicked, because I talk a lot. As you guys maybe realize, I like to talk, and I'm always like
That's good for
active
us.
and stuff. Yeah. So when I met like Cardsy at the U17s, I think we were two of the guys that were talking the most in the team, and Cardsy was just funny. Like not that he seemed like he didn't care, but he was there to have fun. You know what I mean? Like some guys were really serious and focused and kind of stressed about the whole situation, but I feel like me and Cardsy were just there to have fun, and we were serious at the same time. Don't get me wrong, but like we had fun and cool down warm ups and stuff. We talked a lot, and there was a couple other guys too that were fun to hang out with there. But we had a good team, so it was fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of good laughs. And Rask, I did look that young. I might have passed as somebody's kid back then, but
yeah, I think he kind of looked young, but it wasn't that bad. Like we were all young at that time, so we were like what, 16, 15.
Yeah,
So
we're all 15, 16-year-olds showing up there. But yeah, no, we had a good group of guys that we hung out there. I know Klenner was in there, Poirier, and we had a lot of laughs. That was a hilarious week, and I know a lot of people say it's kind of like a grind and stuff, but I feel like our attitudes and stuff about just like being there to have a good time, but also being there for business, just made it a lot more fun.
like, and that's how, like, I feel like when you, like, let's say serious people or whatever, like the way we were able to meet each other is because we were talking and stuff. Like we weren't afraid to. We were just there to have fun and meet new people. Like lots of new O guys and dub guys that I met. Same thing for you, probably with Q guys and dub guys. So, I think it was fun. That's why it makes it so fun to go there. When you go back there, you see your old buddies, and you're there to play hockey. It's really fun. And but at the same time, as you mentioned, when you can be serious, it's like the best of both worlds.
For sure.
No, it's good. It's good to keep it light. Like it's important, and that's a good quality in both of you. And for sure, I've seen it in Cardsy. But like I like guys who can, when to dial it in, when it's business mode, but you don't have to walk around with a straight face all the time. Like you can crack a smile.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So
okay, so we'll take it into some fan questions now. We had a lot. I had to just pick a few of them, but I guess first one, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I did. I started playing golf this summer, but I started watching football too. So, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not this summer, but the start of the year. So I had to watch Super Bowl. How about you guys?
I did. Cards, did you?
Yeah, man, I stayed up. It started at 12:30 here. I went to bed at like 4:30. It was a grind, but
hopefully it was not game day. Eh?
Yeah, no, it was. Well, we played, and then so we had a few days off. So coach gave us Monday off, so had to take the opportunity.
There we go.
Who are you going for, Lappy? The Bucs or the Chiefs?
Yeah, the Bucs. I think just I wanted Brady to continue his legacy, I guess. And I didn't really start. I know a couple of guys and stuff in football, a couple of players, but like I don't know enough players to have a team to cheer for and stuff. So for me right now, it's just about like Brady continuing his legacy, and what he was able to do on the field Sunday was just.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it speaks for itself. It's just like I 31-9 against like the best offense in the. I know that's the defense too. The defense played awesome for the Bucks, but Brady just so consistent. Not throwing, stupid balls, and I think he finished like under 300 yards, but he was just so good out on the field and just like so focused and dialed in. It was pretty impressive. Like Tyrann Mathieu goes to chirp him and he just throws a rocket right in Brown's hands. Like besides Matthew, like that's pretty special. It's not everyone has the guts to do so. So
Yeah, no, he's dialed in out there. The guy's debatably the greatest athlete of all time. So
no, for sure.
yeah,
It's awesome to watch and to see him continue that. And we'll get back into the hockey ones here. Do you have any pregame rituals or superstitions that you like to follow?
Oh, I have a lot. Like on game days, I have a routine. Like I won't get into it a lot because I have like stuff that I do in the morning and just a game day. But I always try to do the same thing before games. I eat at the same time before games. I get a good nap. And then whenever I'm at the rink, just the same routine that I follow all the time. Get treated, then go for like some first stretches and elastic stuff, and then go for the warm up. And then after warm up, I always sit in the stands with one of my good buddies in the team, Krista Farmer. He's one of my buddies, and we've been doing that since we first came in the league together. He was 17, I was 16, and we were just sitting in the stands, until there's like 18 minutes left before warm up. So I feel like that's one superstition that has stayed my old junior career, just sitting in the stands at the same seat, till the same time with my buddies. Yeah.
All right, nice. I like that one. Are you same pregame meal every time, or do you change it up?
I actually changed it. I know a lot of guys, like, I don't know about you guys, but like for me, I always switch it up. Sometimes it can be like chicken and rice. Sometimes it can be like salmon and sweet potatoes. I used to go for pastas a lot, but like apparently it's not good anymore so I just try to go for like chicken or salmon and stuff, and it's worked out pretty well for me. So depending on the day, but no, I'm not superstitious about the meal. I can eat pretty much everything before game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And a lot of people, I think like 5 or 6 people ask, what stick do you use in the specs? Like what flex and curve?
I have the CCM FD3. I think I'm not a big sticks guy, honestly. I actually I have one
Doesn't
here.
know his own stick.
Yeah, it's his FD3 75 flex crossbeat curve, really basic, like bubble grip.
Yeah.
I don't know what, like I know a lot of stuff about like sticks, but I don't really care like about it. I just play the game, and I won't change my tape a lot and stuff like a lot of guys do. So yeah, FD3 75 flex, crossbeat curve, bubble grip. That's it.
All right.
That's the stick.
Okay. We're going to have like 30 listeners buying that now, but favorite memory from Chicoutimi so far? Do you have one?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Like, there's a lot of good memories that I have in Chicoutimi. I'll go for a basic. I think just the playoffs. My first playoffs. It's pretty like, it's not really original, but my first playoffs in the Q were, we lost in 4, right? So like it wasn't. Like we didn't have a long run, but it was just like, it was insane. We went my first game of playoffs, like I think we scored with like a second left to tie it up, then we went into overtime, lost it in overtime. Second game, we went to 4th overtime, lost in 4th overtime. I think that was the second longest game in the Q ever.
Wow.
So we had like bunch of like chicken and rice after like the third OT, like a bunch of candies and stuff. So we were just like trying to stay, energized. But yeah, my and of course the fans in Chicoutimi were awesome for game 3 and 4, even if we lost. So I feel like my first playoffs in Chicoutimi was really good. There's a couple of really nice moments with the boys, but this one sticks out to me.
Yeah, we talk about a lot with other guests, like how different the mindset and mentality, just the feeling walking into the rink on playoffs, how different it is from the regular season. Like,
I don't know why though. Like, like I as a player, you're supposed to like, be ready for regular games, playoff games, like the same mentality. But there's just something about the playoffs that makes it like, I don't know, that makes it so special, or so I guess you know if you lose you're gonna go home. So maybe it's that kind of sense of like, oh well, I want to keep playing. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah. No, it's just a whole new atmosphere, and actually something I have brought it up with a few players, and I want to know your take on it. When you go into the playoffs, in the regular season, it's a lot about personal success. I mean, you're winning as a team, but you're focused on yourself getting points. It's the way it is. That goes out the window in playoffs. Like no one really cares. You're not coming out of the first period. Oh, I have a point. Like I'm chilling. You're like, we got to win this game. Do you notice that in the group?
Yeah, sometimes like during regular season, maybe sometimes guys will joke about points and stuff. But I feel like in playoffs, it's really, of course, it's about the team and stuff, and in the regular season too. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I feel like maybe you can see a little more. Maybe it's because the adrenaline or just a sense of you don't want to lose or stuff. Um, but like what I realized is like this year in the Q, like we only play like 40 games ish, so all games count, right? So I think like it's a little less, maybe not selfish, but the guys are really focused into winning more, because if you lose one, you maybe you drop in the standings, and you don't have a lot of time to catch up, which you do in a 68 season game, right? So game season. So but yeah, I can see it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mean it in a bad way. Like obviously it's important. You need to have personal success. Like you're playing as a team, but you're also there to try to make the NHL. So like it's not a horrible thing, but points aren't everything anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, everyone asked this, probably like 20 people. What was it like meeting Ovi, and did you get any stories about him?
Actually, I met him. Yeah, like I just said like, hey, I'm Lappy. He said, I'm Ovi. Nice to meet you and stuff. But we didn't really talk much. So I don't really have stories.
Are you
It's a good
intimidated
one.
like when you walk up and introduce yourself? Is that one of those guys you're just like, oh, it's
Yeah,
Ovi?
well, actually, like it was weird because it was I was getting like we were in quarantine for 7 days when like before camp, and we had to get tested, and so I went to the rink and I got tested. It was my last day of quarantine, I think, so I was good. And then I just see like a car pulling up, and then I'm like, oh, is that Ovi? And then he just parks right in front, and he just like gets out of his car, and he's like, I'm like, hey, I'm Lappy, nice to meet you. And then he goes, well, he actually went like, hey, I'm Ovi, nice to meet you. And then I'm like, hey, I'm Lappy. And then he's like, we'll catch up later. I'm like, okay. And then it just like, we didn't talk much after that, but he's just like, he's just his shot is insane, and he's just really good. Of course, maybe I'll have more stories after next year's camp, which will be a little longer. But for this year, it was just it was special meeting him, for like, of course.
Yeah, that's so cool. And then one more. A lot of people asked Chara. You guys have a good picture together. I saw in practicing. So, what was he like at all? And he's a new guy to the team too, so probably just a little nervous for himself, maybe.
Yeah, well, of course, Chara's is a really really good guy. I think just the success he had speaks for itself. Being a team captain and a legend and stuff. He's just really special. On the ice, we were just talking about hockey and stuff, about the team this year, and didn't really talk much, but the picture was pretty cool. Guy's a legend, future Hall of Famer. So I have a lot of respect for guys like this, and just to see him practice, he doesn't miss one shot. You're in front of the net, and the puck always goes at the same place, and it's always perfectly like so. That's one thing that really, in juniors, maybe like sometimes the guys, we joke like our Ds will try to just like rip it, go bar down or something. And but I feel like Chara was always shooting like this low to the ground, really easy to tip, and it was just it was really impressive. The guy's been doing it for like 20 years or something. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was laughing when I saw that photo too, because you're not a small guy. What are you, like 6'1"?
Yeah, I'm six. Yeah, I'm six, and
Yeah.
I look like a kid.
Yeah, you just look like so small compared to this guy. I was dying laughing, but it just shows how big this guy actually is. And like you
He's
said,
huge. And he's just
playing in
like
the
so
league that
dedicated,
long.
man. Like after games, like we had two intra squad games, and after games, like he was always like training in the gym, and he's just I feel like he takes care of his body, and he's like no wonder he was captain of the Bruins. He's just so special, and hopefully he'll be there next year when I come back. But yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I doubt he won't be. I mean, this guy feels like he could play till he's 80 years old, it looks like. But I think that wraps it up for Rask's fan questions. I just wanted to mention quickly to the listeners, it's Lappy's birthday today. So everyone go blow his DMs up with birthday wishes. I know it'll be a day late when it comes out tomorrow, but still, everyone go wish him a happy birthday. And there's a nice little birthday present actually coming for you from our presenting sponsors at Axel Watches. For coming on the show today, we're going to be sending you a watch of your choice. Raskin's rocking his there.
Oh, yeah.
Some high quality timepiece piece to walk into the rink looking sharp for you.
I appreciate it, boys. It was a great experience. Whenever you need me to come back or whatever, I'll be there. And it's fun. It's fun to see you guys. And thanks for the invite. Actually, it was pretty fun.
Absolutely, it's good catching up with you, Lappy.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, keep doing your things. It's really good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch up. Thanks.
All right. Thanks to Lappy for doing that. That was a great interview, Cards, and I really enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah, man, it was good to catch up with him. I hadn't talked to him in a little bit, as I referenced before, but yeah, he's a great dude and has a lot of good things to say about the game and a lot of good insight. And he's definitely a player to watch out for in the Caps organization in the next few years, as I feel like they got a sleeper there at 22 overall. And he definitely, if he had played the whole year, definitely would have gone higher.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to talk a little bit about Axel Watch. I did mention we're going to be doing a giveaway at some point this episode for our listeners only. So yeah, we're doing a special draw with Axel Watch for Showbound listeners only. We are not posting this to any of our social channels. This is only for you fans, either watching on the YouTube or listening to us right now. Go to axelwatch.com, put in your email on the pop-up page. You'll see a little for Showbound listeners only link, and you can click that. And for every 100 emails they get, they're going to do a new draw. So if they get 1,000 emails, they're going to be giving away 10 watches. So, the more signups, the higher chances. Well, theoretically, I guess the chances stay the same, but the more watches will be given away. So get on axelwatch.com, put your email in, and we'll be announcing the winners on the podcast next week. Yeah. With that being said, everybody go do that. I want all our listeners rocking Axel watches because I can't take mine off. It looks good. And we'll talk about The Bachelor. So did you watch the last episode already?
Yeah, I just watched it actually. Not bad overall.
I liked it, man. This was the first good episode of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it too, and I'm kind of fired up about Heather coming on the show too. So Heather, we have from Colton's season, and I like that season a lot too. So I'm excited to see what she brings to the table. I know they got mutual friends we saw in Tyler, and then through Hannah as well. So yeah. I feel like they could hit it off. My front runner right now, if I'm calling it, I'm going to stick with Reichel, but I actually think, what's her name? The blonde, Heather. Yeah. Heather. Okay. I think Heather has a chance.
Dude, like I have a lot of opinions right now. I don't know. My brain's kind of all over the place. I think, Kit has grown on me from someone who I didn't think I was going to like at all to someone who I actually kind of support right now. But I want to go back to Heather. And this is something when we have I won't say the name, the lady from The Bachelor come on the show here with us for me to ask her, but do you think Heather pulling up was real? Like not staged? Because it seemed kind of real in the sense that they didn't let her in. If it was real, I feel like, or if it was staged, they would have just let her in, right?
I don't know, man. We're going to find out eventually, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it could be staged. It's too set up. Like they have too many like mutual friends, and like it just happens to be that Tyler was there that episode.
That's why I believe it though. Like, cause she was talking to Tyler and Chris Harrison seemed so surprised, and so did Matt. Like part of me thinks that was kind of just happened, man. I wouldn't be surprised because she's like, if she's doing it for the clout or something, like it's not a bad move by her. So I don't know, man, but something that we're gonna find out. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we'll figure that out eventually. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, the massage prank on Tyler was hilarious.
Yeah, that was actually so funny. And then actually, for that girl to just get canned after that date, I was kind of that was a bit cold. But
I forgot about that. Yeah, because for me, I watched it last night. Cardsy's watched it right before we recorded this, so it's more fresh in your memory. But man, she pours her heart out on the line completely, and she thinks it's going great. So did every viewer, I think.
Yeah.
And then just like that, Matt picks up the rose, like dangling it in her face. And he's like, I can't give this to you, and I'm going to walk you out. It's like he shouldn't have picked up the rose, man. That got her hopes up even more.
I'll give JT a little Showbound bump. He called it, like when they started talking, like even when it was going well, they were like expressing feelings and stuff. JT's like, yeah, he's sending her home. And then he picks up the rose. I'm like, nah, dude, are you stupid? And then sure enough, just dangles it in her face, like he person teasing their dog with a treat. And then he sends her home. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, that one got me, man. That one got me. But I mean, it was a good episode, so I'm happy with it. We're on the right track. And anything else you want to say about it before we kind of wrap this up?
No, I think that does it for the Bachelor this week. I mean, we'll get some more intel. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here. I think we got 10 women left now that Katie got sent home, and got another rose ceremony coming up. So big things coming in the Bachelor segment.
Almost at hometowns, man. And I'm wondering, so I did say like we are gonna have. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say we are. It's like 98% certainty that we're gonna have one of the people from the Bachelor on. Like she did say yes to me, but I never know with these people. Man, if she wins, like she's going pretty deep in this, it could be massive. Like I don't know.
And maybe repost too. You never know. We gotta ride the wave.
Yeah. Anyway, let's send it to you, Cards. You take it out. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. So thanks for listening this week. We really appreciate all the support you guys give us, and we're going to continue to make great episodes. So stay tuned for more Showbound, and have a great week.